recruiting is tough. It's not only tough on you, but it's tough on your family because you have everybody walking in the door and promising you the world, and you got to filter through that information. And when I filtered through all the information, I thought that the Razorbacks were one of the teams I grew up watching, but here's Lou Holtz. He's leaving out the door, and Hatfield is coming in. So that they haven't established that. This is the first year of that happening. The consistency of Barry Switzer over and his ability to recruit was one of them. But the idea that they had just signed this quarterback out of Henrietta, Oklahoma, and had Matt Brown, who became the Texas coach and now is at North Carolina's offense coordinator, and as well as, you got to see people like Marcus Dupree, who was that running back. I mean, some great stories of guys you thought you could play with, Spencer Tillman. So having Troy Aikman was a big deal to me. I mean, when you're a receiver, you want a quarterback that can get you the ball. And having the number one quarterback in the nation in Troy Aikman out of Oklahoma, going to Oklahoma, it was big on my decision-making.
Did your parents help you with that decision, or were you just out there with a piece of paper writing it down and going by your emotions, or was your mother going, no, go do this?
Barry Switzer calls my mother the toughest woman he's ever met because she had to endure the hardship of me going to Oklahoma. Now, at the time, of course, I told you I'm 18, turning 19. I really don't understand the magnitude of being like one of the top players in the country, ranked, and I don't understand the magnitude of being a parade All-American and how small Arkansas is when it comes to having that kind of talent. I just think that I'm a player that want to go play at the place I want to play. She full well understands the whole view, and she stood up for me and fought for me to go to Oklahoma in spite of the fact that she could have lost her job or just some other things bad would have happened to
Lost her job because her son didn't play for the Razorbacks?
A lot of threatenings. Let me tell you something. I know the whole staff, the upper staff. As a matter of fact, I serve as a board member of Baptist Health. There's no way Baptist Health would do anything like that. They are very good Christian people at Baptist Health. But it was this thought process of the outside of people scaring, and then the fact that you got rats in your mailbox. We got our house toilet paper. Oh yeah, it was a bad ordeal, and she just endured it all and supported me 100%. Hey, you know what? When you get drafted by the Eagle, you learn how to not like the Cowboys pretty quickly. But I love Jerry Jones. I always tell Jerry that. I hug him. I love him. I love Steven. I love Jerry Jr. I love Charlotte. I love the family.
They've done a great
job.
Right
there across the bridge in North Little Rock, they're from, and so I do love him. I just can't find myself cheering for the Cowboys because I'm an Eagle. It's
today,
tough.
Okay,
it's tough.
That's
it's
one
tough.
of my questions. Who do you root for? Who do you root for when you watch football? If you pay for 3 teams, who do you root for?
I root for the teams I played for.
Always.
And then if they play against the other, I root for the team that wins.
When Razorbacks are playing Oklahoma, who do you root for?
Oh, that's a question I better not answer. My son still plays for the team.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I better not answer that phone.
Yeah.
And the one
that
thing
means it's Oklahoma.
The one thing the coach that coaching up there now coached at Oklahoma too. When I first met Sam Pittman, he was an offensive line coach at Oklahoma, so he's been there too. I tell you what, I've enjoyed my time at Oklahoma. I am so fortunate that I have 2 teams that I can root for.
That's fun,
and it was.
There's always someone playing.
That's right, and the bad thing is that the Razorbacks haven't been playing well, but Oklahoma has. So it's kind of like I'm just kind of riding that, and then when Razorbacks play well, I jump back over on that side.
What was the most glaring difference between playing college ball and playing pro ball?
Everybody's good in pro football. I mean, just everybody. Nobody. I mean, there's nobody who doesn't have talent. When you're out there, you're playing against some of the best in the world at all times. And so, in order to make plays, you've got to be pretty good to make those plays. In college, you'll have a guy who's not as good. He's a position guy. He's out there to try to help his team win, but they're putting him in the right position to do that. In the NFL, they expose that. You got to be good at every position or they will come after you. And so it was so surprising how fast the linebackers were, how big and fast the defensive linemen were. I mean, every position was just physical, fast, just athletic.
So you're 6'3".
Yeah.
Would you be big enough now?
Yeah, still. Yeah, still be same. I mean, tight ends hadn't changed much in size. They do have bigger blocking tight ends, but really the tight ends that are really taking the world by storm, you take Hunter Henry, who's from here, who's great. Hunter's about 6'3", 6'4", about 245, 250. He's not going to let himself get big. You're right. He's not going to let himself get big because he wants to be able to run against those little small defensive backs that are chasing them and have a chance to catch passes against them. So you have some guys like Gronkowski who's who's like 265 and can run. But most tight ends are around 250. Yeah.
You were at the Eagles from 88 to 91. Why did you leave, or did you get traded, or what?
No, I fought for free agency. That was a great deal. One of my friends came to me and said, every time they talk about free agency, they talk about you. Yeah, I did.
Oh,
I fought for. I was one of the. Matter of fact, the case was called the Jackson Five. Believe it or not.
Was it really?
So it was me and four of the guys, and we fought for free agency. We were 4-year guys, and there was a debate going on with the NFL and the NFL Players Association about 5-year guys getting 5-year players getting free agency. So we were kind of caught in the middle. But I mean, I just said, I'll be willing to use my name to fight for this. I thought it was unfair that an owner could tell me, this is all you're going to get. I don't care how well you play and what good player. I can't test the market to see how much money I can make. And that's it. And you either play or don't play. I mean, I just didn't think that was fair. And I was a good enough player at the time that I could actually say, okay, well, we're going to see how this works, and I was willing to take the chance.
So what did happen?
Well, what happened is the judge gave us 5 days or something like that to find a team, or a week to find a team, and the Miami Dolphins called.
Why were you wanting to leave the Eagles?
Well, I didn't want to leave.
For increase in pay?
Yeah, I didn't want to leave the Eagles, but I didn't think it was fair for someone to put me in a box. So literally, I mean, here I am. I'm an All-Pro almost every year I'm there, and then I hold out. And I didn't make it that year, but I'm there, and the owner tells me, you're a tight end, so you fit in this category, and this is all the money you got. And all the books that were being written and talked about, I was the big play player, even though I was at a position that didn't make a lot of money.
Oh, I see.
And so I'm going, well, this is not fair, and it's not fair for me, and it's not fair for. And I just felt like sometimes, you've got to be the one who shoulders some of the weight, if not me, if not now,
you're
when.
A leader. You're a leader.
Yeah, and so I was willing to take that chance.
You went to the Miami Dolphins,
yes.
right? All right.
Had a great career at the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins call. I go down there. I get a chance to play with the great Dan Marino.
Oh, wow.
A great story about faith is that I was sitting there and I was watching TV with my agent in Malibu, and Miami's playing against Seattle. And they're in Seattle, and Dan Marino gets knocked out. First concussion, he goes to the sideline. They don't take his helmet. He comes back in the game. He throws a touchdown, and he doesn't know he threw the touchdown. And I looked at my agent, and I said, I want to play with Dan Marino. The next day they call.
Oh, I'm so with you. If we could high five, we'd high five right now.
The next day they called. Not only that, I told my agent how much money I thought I was worth a year. The next day they offered that amount without us talking to him. That's some faith, believe in God stuff right there, and it worked. And it was
prayer.
It is. It was so exciting to be able to see that at work. And anyway.
So why'd you leave the Green Bay Packers?
So I retired. So I go to the Green Bay Packers. I get traded to the Green Bay Packers because I didn't.
Oh, I didn't want to.
Yeah, I didn't want to come through the all season. I said, hey, I've got this vision that God has given me called Park.
So that happened while you were at the Miami Dolphins.
Well, I started building it up at Philadelphia. I get to Miami, and I'm really in raising money with Walter Hussman. He's helping me out at the Arkansas Democrat Gazette, so I'm flying home a lot. I'm having meetings, and we're actually having these off season or these things during the off season while I'm still planning to raise money. And so it was one of those things where I go, I either listen to the coach or I listened to God. I said, Coach, I can't come during the off season. He said, well, I'm going to trade you. And he did. He traded me to Green Bay. Best thing that ever happened to me, and I went to win a Super Bowl at Green Bay Packers. I actually had an opportunity of getting traded to Green Bay, meeting up with my old good friend Reggie White, who was an anchor in my life. And so we got a chance to play 2 more years together. And
did you say they won the Super Bowl the
when
year
I was there? 2 years. Yeah, 1 year I was there. We won the Super Bowl. 96. So
you are just on the winning team everywhere you go.
Well, sometimes you think you're going to the desert, but when you get there, you realize there's something there for you. And so nobody ever wanted to go to Green Bay because it was so cold. It was the place nobody wanted to go. When you look at guys like Mike Holmgren and who was the head coach, as well as Ron Wolf, who was the general manager, Reggie White and Brett Favre, and all, they changed that place where players want to go and play at Green Bay.
So, speaking of a team sport, I love how the new basketball coach has all the coaches wearing the same color. Have you noticed that?
I did not, but that's good, though.
Every time we play a basketball game, all the coaches on the sideline are wearing the same shirt.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. I like being uniform, and that's what it is. And you know what's really great is that he understands the importance of being a team player. And so after the game, he actually will wear the logo shirts of some of the investors or whatever you call them. But he's been great. Musselman has been great.
Musselman.
Yeah, Eric Musselman. He's been great. He's
he's only 5'6".
He's not tall at all. I've been with him. I hung out with him, but I tell you what, he's tall when it comes to picking players. He's got a great recruiting class coming in.
It's his wife who's the recruiter.
Well, no, that means he's good. If you see his wife, you know he's a good recruiter. And she has family from Arkansas.
Oh, no
yeah,
kidding.
she did. I had a chat with her, and she's talked about it over again. I want to say Magnolia, but I may be wrong. But yeah, she has family from Arkansas. Well,
we've got to talk about Park before we get finished.
Okay.
I love talking to you, Keith. You said on Park's website you had a vision from God about helping teenagers overcome the obstacles of violence and troubled lives, and that as you got older, eventually graduating from the University of Oklahoma and retiring from the National Football League, you were able to develop your vision of creating a place that will give kids hope, strong values, and confidence. Tell us about your vision. You started telling us a little bit about it and where this passion from this vision comes from.
Well, the one thing about it is that I actually go to sleep. There's a verse that talks about old men dream dreams and young men have visions, right? And so I go, well, I'm young at the time, so I'm going, this is a dream and not a vision. But I mean, this is a vision, not a dream. And so I have this vision, and it's clear. I think that God speaks to us through visions, and so
describe a vision.
So a vision is when God shows you the end of something. And then he tells you to come back and create the beginning, just like he does. So you can see the end of all the kids being at Park and all of them graduating and all of them going to college and all of them having families and all of them having a nice house and driving nice cars and good jobs. You see the end of it. But then in 1995, you had to come back and start the beginning. So this is our 25th anniversary.
So is that what people mean when they say dream big?
Well, dreaming is different now. Now, a dream is just something that experience of one time that you know something big is going to happen in your life. A vision takes a little while to carry out.
So when I talk to young people and I say dream big, as big as you can dream.
Dream as big as you can dream.
So is a dream, but you're saying they're not really the same
Well,
thing.
the vision. So a dream, to me, specifically is something that is for you. Right, you're having these dreams or something that has occurred. A vision is more where you're leading people, where it's more people oriented. And you know, we may have a biblical scholar call us tomorrow and go, "That's exactly wrong." But old men will dream dreams. So when you say old men dream dreams, they're at the end of their age. They're having dreams of what's happening right now, what needs to happen. Young men have vision because there's going to be a stretch of time.
I like it. Okay.
Well, I didn't create it. It's in the book.
Well, you explained it well. I like it.
So I have this vision of taking these kids who will struggle academically, who will probably be the kids that will be the problems down the line. You bring them in from the 7th and 8th grade, rising 8th graders, and you keep them for 5 years. So you're able to create a holistic approach to change. All this is in the vision. I'm not smart enough to figure this out. I'm a communication major at the University of Oklahoma, but this vision is so strong and so clear about taking these kids, attacking their deficiencies, raising their GPAs, and helping them go to college. And when these kids started, they thought a D meant doing good. They didn't know it meant something bad. And so over the years, and they thought the flag was important too. So
F for flag.
F for
D
flag.
for doing good. All right.
And so over the years, what we've done is we've been able to attack those deficiencies and send hundreds of kids off to college. And so it's been really exciting. We're almost at 100 kids going to college, but it's been really exciting to see that vision from the beginning of doing this deficiency attacking and then spirit, soul, and body. So this is a holistic approach to change. You are a spirit, you have a soul, and you live in a body. And when you complete all that and get rid of all the negativity around all that, you create a really strong change. I call them change agents. There are forces out there They're the kids that I have that have jobs in the community that are changing lives.
How
also.
do they get involved in your program?
So basically, we work with the Little Rock School District and the Plastic
So you're
County
closed
School
right
District.
now because of the coronavirus?
Yes, we're shut down now because of the virus. When the school district shut down, we shut down. It's kind of the same thing. The kids can't come there, but we're also talking to them every day by phone, making sure they're getting on the laptops and doing their homework
and I saw
and all
that
that
you were
stuff.
posting to the website, and the website is park.com. Yeah, you were posting
PositiveKids.org.
Yeah, positive
Kids.org.
Oh, positivekids.org. And then I saw you have a graduation coming up.
Yes, I do.
So who is that?
25th graduation. So what we do is we take the students who've been in the program for 5 years, and some drop out, but some stay in, and those we have a graduation from. And our kids come from schools that are in the county and schools that are in the city. So it's a colorful graduation. So you have the orange of Hall and the green of Mills. You know, you have all the, and they walk down. We have our own graduation, and
then you have reunions.
And then we're having a reunion that we had to cancel. That was going to be on April 18th, but we're inviting all of our kids back that's been in the program. Over 1,300 kids have been in our program. We're talking about teachers and that's been a part of the program, as well as board members, staff, everybody.
So is it mostly an after-school program?
It is an after-school program.
Is it a weekend program?
No.
It's only after school. It's
and
only
summertime.
helping kids with. It's almost like tutors.
Yeah,
but you have a lot of
leaders.
facilities there. You have basketball, racquetball courts.
You know, we're competing against the outside world, so we want to give them something just as good to do on the inside. I mean, we got
and
a
how do
theater.
they get involved? How do they sign up?
Basically, we go through the counselors at the school, different school district, and we're looking for a kid who's struggling academically. Has a lower GPA, and we go through them, and then we tell them to take their stuff from their parents, they bring it back, and then we call the parents and say, here's what we do.
What's the number one reason that they have a low GPA?
Well, I want to say my program does a great job of changing it. I will say that just the lack of awareness of the importance of education.
Structure in their home life, possibly?
Nah, some people. Some people you'll say that, but I think it's importance of understanding why it's important to have education. So if you grew up where your family was a hardworking family, but they never talked about going to college.
I gotcha.
To you, even though you work hard, the parents work hard, or the mother works hard, and she goes to work every day and she puts food on the table, she's just not aware that this thing called education.
And she can't hardly dedicate any time to you because she's working so hard.
She's working so hard. So we become the second parent. And we bring them in and we attack the deficiencies and help them with their homework and all stuff.
And you find these kids through your own outreach program that goes to the school and says, I want some at-risk kids that you think we could help.
So we've been great partners with the school district, Pax County Special School District, as well as Little Rock Public School District. And so we've been very good partners with them, and we've enjoyed that. And we say we change together because we still use them along the way. And so we're having conversation with the teachers and the counselors and all that along the way.
I have a gift, although we can't hardly touch, so I'm just going to set it over here.
Set it over here.
It's Oklahoma
I got
and
Oklahoma
Arkansas
on there together, and the flag.
I know, and that fun.
A lot of people die for that flag. I really love that flag, and I'll fight for it for the rest of my life too. So
no, thanks. You're so good.
What? Can I just say one thing before I go?
Yeah.
You know that every school that we had a graduate from, we've had a lot of schools graduate from. We come to Flag and Banner to get a flag made of those schools, and so in front of Park, there's like 15 different flags of 15 different colleges and university, and when you walk in, it is so impressive.
You know, I haven't been out to Park in a long time.
You need to come see all those flags that you've created for us.
I do need to. When you first built that place, I came out there and I heard you telling this story that you wanted to do that, and I spoke with someone, it wasn't you, and I haven't. And I think my salespeople have been helping you ever since. Thank you so much.
It's awesome.
Listen, I want to thank everybody for spending time with us. We hope you've heard or learned something that's been inspiring or enlightening, and that whatever it is, will help you up your business, your independence, or your life. I'm Kerry McCoy, and I'll see you next time on Up in Your Business. Until then, be brave and keep it up.
If you liked this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the picture of Kerry's face in the center of the screen. To watch the full-length interview, click the video in the top right. For more interview highlights, click the video in the bottom right. Thank you for watching.